The content in this video is suitable for students taking Principle of Finance at Humboldt State University. In this video, I'm going to explain different ways to calculate stock return and show how to do that in Excel. In a specific, I'm going to explain how to calculate holding period return, simple and continuously compound return, arithmetic mean return, geometric mean return, and internal rate of return. So let's start with holding period return. Holding period return refers to the rate of return an investment would give if you buy the stock now, or if you had bought stock sometime back in the past and hold it for a certain period of time and sell it. Usually the holding period return is calculated as a selling price plus the total dividend received minus purchase price over purchase price. The simple return is basically the percentage change in the price. So if you know the current price and if you know the previous price, then you can simply calculate simple return by finding the difference in the current price and the previous price and divided by the previous price, like here. So if you want to calculate continuously compounded return, then this is simply difference in log prices. So if you know the current price and if you know the past price, then you can find the log of the current price and you can find the log of the previous price, and the difference in the log prices, this is like ln pt, which means the current price minus ln pt minus 1, where ln refers to natural log function, then you get the continuously compounded return. So usually the simple return and continuously compounded returns are periodic return, meaning the rate of return between one period to another period. It could be daily, monthly, or weekly, or yearly. But if you want to measure the stock return over the multiple period, then we usually use either arithmetic mean or geometric mean. So they are not very new concept. Basically they are coming from the stat class that you have taken. Instead of having a simple number, we have the return. So arithmetic mean, as you know, is sum of all return over number of returns. Geometric mean is a little bit tricky. So if you know the return series, then you would add 1 to the return series, multiply all the return series, n to the power 1 over n minus 1. So the formula itself look a little bit complex, but Excel has a geomean function. So if you use the Excel's geomean function, then calculation of geometric means a lot easy. So I have explained here the steps to calculate geometric mean. First of all, you would find the simple return. Second, you would find a new setting, adding 1 to the simple return, and you can use the Excel's geomean functions to calculate geometric mean, and then you minus 1. So this is how we calculate geometric mean in Excel. So if you want to calculate the internal rate of return for the stocks, then XIRR function, as you have been familiar with this when we were talking about the capital budgeting. So here it all the values and then dates. So where values means simply the cell which has the cash flows, including initial cash flows, and dates usually means the date when the cash flows came in. So initial cash flow outlay usually refers to purchase price, and cash flow basically means all the dividend payment during the holding period, and final cash flow is basically the selling price. So this is the basic terminologies. I think just explanation doesn't make much sense. Remember, I have explained how to download historical price and dividend from Yahoo Finance, and we have already downloaded this data and it is on my desktop right here. I'm going to use that data set to explain all the concept I just explained. Let's see what's in the data. So as you remember, The data set has three columns: column A with all the dates, column B with the adjusted close price, and column C with all the close prices. So I want to explain first how to calculate holding period return. So if you remember from my slide right here, holding period basically means the selling price plus total dividend received minus purchase price over purchase price. So I have here purchase price. Purchase price means if you had bought the Verizon stock back in 2001 January, how much would you pay? That is the purchase price, and that would be, let's use the close price, so that would be 54.95 cents. So selling price means if you bought that stock back in 2001 and hold it until December 2015, and if you sell it, how much would you get? So that would be basically you would go to the bottom of the data set and see how much price was at the end of the period, so which is December 2015 and which is 46.22. So that gives us selling price. Now the total dividend received. How much dividend did Verizon provide during the whole holding period? And as you know, we have a dividend data in the next Excel sheet here. And I have also the purchase price and the selling price for my future IRR calculation. But for now, I'm just going to use the dividend. So here, what I want to do is just the total dividend basically means sum and all the dividend received during that period, which is from here to the bottom excluding the selling price, right? Yes, that's the total dividend Verizon provided during that period. So now we have purchase price, we have selling price, we have total dividend received. Then we can easily go and calculate holding period return, which is simply the selling price plus the total dividend. That's the cash proceed you would have if you hold the stock and sold it at the end of the period. That's your total cash inflow. And how much did you invest? Meaning how much did you pay at the beginning? That's a cash outflow. So it's going to be purchase price, and that is the total gain. How much did you put at the beginning? So that's your investment, which would be the purchase price. So if you do this and click enter, then you get the 30% holding period return. You can also calculate monthly or annual holding period return, but I'm not concerned here. I just want to teach you here how to calculate holding period return. So this is one of the measures of measuring stock return, which is very simple. Now I want to go and explain you how to calculate. Now let's learn how to calculate simple return. Let's go to our PowerPoint slide here, and as you can see, if you want to calculate simple return here, then it's a current price minus previous price over previous price, right? So you come here. So the first date we have is January 2001. So we don't have the price earlier than that period. So if you want to calculate return for that period, we need the price 1 month prior to this. Since we don't have the price, we cannot calculate the simple return for the first month. We can only calculate simple return for the second period. So if you know the formula, that means it's basically the current price. I'm going to use this close price. So it's the close price, current close price, minus the previous price and over previous price. That's how you calculate simple return, which is negative 9.92%. And if you want to calculate whole series, you just grab that square box and drag it to the bottom, and it gives us simple return. It's very easy. So now let's look at how do we calculate continuously compounded return. So again, if you go to my PowerPoint, and you can see here, to calculate continuously compound return, you simply do ln, meaning the log of the current price minus the log of the previous price, right? So you go here, and if you want to calculate here again, ln, which refers to the natural log of the current price right here minus ln of the previous price. So that's all. That's all you do, and you calculate one continuously compound return for the first period, and if you want to calculate for the remaining period, again you go and grab the handle square box and then drag it to the bottom, and it gives us continuously compound return. One thing I think you as a student of introductory finance should notice that they are not the same. Now let's learn how to calculate arithmetic mean return, right? Again, I am not going to spend much time on this because this is the concept you have been learning from your high school. So arithmetic means basically means average. So we can use the average function here in Excel. So if you just use it, and you can calculate simple return, the arithmetic mean of simple return. So I just go average and then select all of the simple returns, right? Then you get the average, which means arithmetic mean of simple returns. Similarly, you can also calculate average or arithmetic mean for continuously compounded return. All you have to do is again average and then select all continuously compound return, right? So this is how you calculate. So this is average of continuously compound return. So arithmetic mean is easy. So now let's go and calculate geometric mean, which is a little tricky because Excel has geomean function, but that function assumes that all numbers has to be positive. But if you look at our simple return or continuously compounded return series, some of them are negative. So the Excel's geomean function cannot handle the negative numbers. So what we have to do is we have to make them all positive by adding 1 and calculate geometric mean for the new series and subtract 1 from the geometric mean. So this is how we follow the little tricky way. So what we do here is, since we don't have the return for the first series, we just leave this empty, and right here I'm going to do 1 plus, again I'm going to use simple return. So here is my simple return. So I'm going to write here simple return and 1. So this is how I got 1 plus simple return. So to get the remaining series, again you grab the handle, drag it to the bottom, and you have now whole new series. I'm going to use that new series to calculate geometric mean. So to calculate geometric mean, all we have to do is this. Here use the geomean, right? Geomean and all that numbers that from the new series. So we have added to get the new series. So you find the geometric mean and subtract 1. This is how you get. So now we have geometric mean. The format, okay, the format seems a little so let me clear all that and make this look better. So here is the format. So I just want to show you here. Okay, that's the geometric mean. I was just changing the format. So this is how easy it is. What you do is basically you have the simple return series. You add them all, add 1 to each series and find the geometric mean for the new series and subtract 1. So this is how you calculate geometric mean. Now let's go, how do we calculate internal rate of return for stock investment, right? So if you remember from capital budgeting, internal rate of return requires the cash flow. So I want to go to a different sheet right here which has the dividend, and I have added the purchase price at the beginning and the selling price at the beginning because these are the part of cash flow, right? So I have here the purchase price as a negative because that's a cash outflow, money is going away from you, and all the dividend that's coming to the stockholder, so it's all they are positive, as well as the price you get by selling stock is all positive. So you have all the cash flows here and you have the debt because these cash flows are at the different time period. So all I can do now is I can use XIR function to calculate the internal rate of return. But remember, all these series are quarterly. Whatever internal rate of return you get, that's going to be quarterly. So here I'm going to use XIRR. Then after it reads all the values from the top, like purchase price to the sale price, that's all the cash flow, right? Comma, and it's going to have all the debts. So you just select all the debts. So now you have all the debts here. So once you make all that selection, then bracket close and then enter. Then you get that is 2.2% is the quarterly internal rate of return. And if you want to analyze that, and if you remember that how we do it, it's basically 1 plus our quarterly rate to the power 4, meaning there are 4 quarters in a year, so you raise to the power 4 minus 1. Okay, that's 9.10% is the annual internal rate of return. So this is how we calculate internal rate of return as well as geometric mean return, arithmetic mean return, continuously compounded return series, and simple return series. I hope you can understand this, and I'm gonna use the same data set in the next video to explain what are the tools available for us to analyze an individual stocks. Thank you.